do, bro, because the other Deuce M's created a whole fake document where all of a sudden it said Cash Jones. Like, it was crazy.
Okay. But this is what's retarded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name?
That's why you said the real one when you said it.
All you gotta do is go pull it up under Liddell Rawls. That's Dale Dog name.
Okay.
Open that document up under that paperwork, then read it. So with this bullshit they got, you go pull up Liddell Rawls, right? And then read it.
Okay, we're going to stop the bullshit and child's play right now here today. Here's both of the Main Street cases, the sheriff case and the FBI investigation as well. County of Los Angeles Sheriff Department, supplementary report. Okay, January 12, 2009. That's the file number, okay? Okay, kidnap robbery. Okay, there's the list. Okay? Okay? Huh? Damu and Kiwe conversations, man. We don't do no hearsay. And documentation supersedes conversation, okay? We're going to stop this right now. And we're not going to go all into the details of somebody else's case. But we're speaking on facts, okay? Not hearsay. You understand me? Damu and Kiwe conversations. Wiretaps. Okay? Main event case. Huh? So we're going to stop playing, though. Okay? Okay, we're going to separate the hearsay from the facts. Facts over feelings. Okay? Just to skim through. Okay? Wait a minute. Yeah, we got some prophet sessions in here, too. And some John Hancocks. Yeah, that's in here too, man. Okay? Wait, there's more. Okay, page 10 reads as follows, right? Huh? They placed a call to Mark Stevens in Atlanta at Deja 34. That's Mark Stevens and Shaq's production entertainment company. Have you, right? Okay? The Los Angeles County Sheriff placed a call and left a message to Shaq. On September 9, at approximately 11:45 hours, investigators spoke with Los Angeles police officers. Yeah. Regarding the Main Street kidnapping case. There's more. They interviewed Mark. Also present during the interview was Mr. Stevens' attorney. Stevens said after an investigation left a message saying that they wanted to talk to him regarding a kidnap and assault investigation occurring in Los Angeles. A little reading. Right here. Within the next couple of months, Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, "I need to talk to you, man. The big fella's, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes." Soon after, Stevens received a call from Cash Jones, Wack100, told him that Ross had a videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross' home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money.
You know, prior to me meeting with Stutterbox, me and Darren Dupree, he was involved in these extortion attempts towards Shaq. Because he had been hooking up allegedly with Shaq's old lady. And then he was trying to extort money out of Shaq, saying that he was going to release, photographs or, compromising, things about Shaquille.
Within the next couple of months, Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, "I need to talk to you, man. The big fella's, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes." Soon after Stevens received a call from Cash Jones.
If you gonna read the real paperwork, not the fake shit dude made. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it.
Soon after Stevens received a call from Cash Jones, Wack100, told him that Ross had a videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross' home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money.
You know, prior to me meeting with Stutterbox, me and Darren Dupree, he was involved in these extortion attempts towards Shaq.
Greg Kading publicly stated that Stutterbox was involved in an attempt to extort Shaq. But what really solidifies that claim is what's written in the police's official supplementary report. In it, Mark Stevens confirms the story, saying he got a call from Ross about a tape involving Shaq, one that didn't include his wife. Shortly after that, Mark Stevens says he received a call from Cash Jones, better known as CS2 Back. During that call, CS2 Back told him about the tape Stutterbox had and suggested that he could take it to TMZ and make a serious bag off of it. Let that sink in. That means CS2 Back, who many believe to be Porky, was actively assisting Stutterbox in the extortion plot. He wasn't just aware of the tape. He was pushing it, attempting to profit from it, and helping move the play forward. So when Greg Kading talks about the extortion attempt, and the paperwork shows CS2 Back helping facilitate it, it becomes pretty clear. Porky wasn't just a bystander. He was right there, involved in the move, and the police knew it the whole time. Why was he never charged, or even questioned? And no matter how many times he tries to deflect, the truth is already on record. So ask yourselves this question. Why did Porky lie and say Deuce made this paperwork?
Because he had been hooking up allegedly, with Shaq's old lady. And then he was trying to extort money out of Shaq, saying that he was going to release, photographs or, compromising, things about Shaquille. And Shaq had a friend that I think his name was Mark Turner or something like that. Don't hold me to that name, but I think his name was Mark Turner, a guy from Atlanta. And that guy, Mark, knew the shot caller, the head guy for the gang that Stutterbox was associating with, which was the Main Street Crips. And his name was Del Dog. And so, Shaq's like, man, this clown's trying to extort money from me, blah, blah, blah. He tells Mark. Well, Mark reaches out to Del Dog and says, man, you gotta square your guy away. Can you deal with Stutterbox? Tell him to knock this shit off. So Del Dog and the Main Street Crips go and they discipline and threaten Stutterbox. Stutterbox is scared for his life, so he goes running to law enforcement. So law enforcement gets involved in him. Then during that process, he mentions that, he knows something about Biggie's murder. He tells us there's this guy named Cash Jones, who's a big dope dealer for Suge Knight. He's a truck driver. So we're like, oh shit, okay, well, that's interesting. If we can get some leverage like that on Suge, like a Keefy D thing, right? And so we go and start investigating Cash Jones, and we spend months, and it becomes very, very clear he's not doing anything other than working his ass off, pushing his truck, trying to get some magazine off the ground, and he's just hustling. He's certainly not dealing any dope. And so we realize that Stutterbox is just feeding us this bullshit. In fact, Stutterbox goes so far as to tell us, hey man, this dude's house is loaded with weapons. It's like Beirut in there, he's got all kinds of illegal weapons. So we do a search warrant at the house. This dude's house is loaded with weapons. It's like Beirut in there, he's got all kinds of illegal weapons. So we do a search warrant at the house.
Greg Kading recently revealed something major. The reason Porky's house was raided was because Stutterbox told authorities that the place was full of firearms. And when law enforcement executed that search warrant, they found exactly that: multiple weapons inside the home. Now forget the story Porky's been telling everyone, that his house was raided because they thought he was living above his means. That was just another lie. The real reason was much more serious. Law enforcement was already looking for leverage, something they could use to pressure Porky into flipping on Marion Knight. And what better way to do that than to catch a convicted felon, already fighting a gun case in Texas with more illegal firearms? Don't overlook this, though. At the exact time the feds were raiding Porky's house, he was being pulled over in his truck, miles away from the scene. That wasn't a coincidence. They didn't want Porky at home during the raid because of the threat he might be armed. So what did they do? The feds set up a fake trucking company to call Porky and book him for a load, intentionally drawing him away from the house. As soon as he hit the road, they raided the property, and not long after, they pulled him over. And they weren't just checking his license and registration. Think about that. The feds had a search warrant specifically targeting guns. They found those guns, and Porky, already a convicted felon, was in the middle of fighting a separate felon in possession case out of Texas. That's not a light situation. That's the kind of pressure that makes people flip. So why would the police just let him go after that? They didn't let him go. They arrested him. This is the reason Detective Michael Coet said that the only one arrested was Cash Jones. So now the question becomes, what did Porky give them in return?
Of course, don't come up with shit.
Wow.
And so eventually we, contact Cash Jones and Wack, and it's just like, hey man, here's the story. This is why we're here. Kind of fucked up. Sorry. We're being led on by this individual who claims you were doing all these things, and so we're washing our hands